Anytime you let somebody push your buttons or affect you emotionally, you have given them power. You have given them the key to your reactivity. Because now you're not acting consciously. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to stop reacting when we're triggered, how to deal with difficult personalities. This is Shaka from Mind's Eye Status, your executive communication coach, and you're here to become a grounded communicator. I'm in Montenegro. This is our beautiful view from our apartment, which is a pure blessing. So let's dive right in. You guys know I like to keep these as practical as possible. So this isn't a motivational video. Go grab your notebook, pause the video, pull out a notes app, whatever you need to do. I work with one of our executive coaches. His name's Daniel, and he is so smart. He shared something with me in the group, the Diamond Eye group that we have. It's the communication mastermind. Somebody asked him, how do I deal with people that are difficult? How do I deal with emotional triggers? And this was his response, which he learned from a mentor, which goes to show the benefit of having mentors, right? He said, a wise man once told me that total freedom is allowing other people to completely have their own experiences. Again, total freedom is allowing other people to fully have their own experiences. Let me give you an example of what this looks like in action. Just over there, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a castle right over there. There's a little castle, and I love checking out castles and historic landmarks anytime I'm traveling, especially in Europe. And we went there with my wife. It's that castle is situated within an old town. Many European cities have what they call old town. Cobblestone streets, old buildings, which they've converted into cafes, restaurants, gift shops, that sort of thing. There was a cute little bookstore. It looked like a tiny corridor. It was so narrow. We poked our head in, and we're both bookworms. We love reading, we love bookstores. We poked our head in and we started, checking it out and oohing and eyeing. And the gentleman who worked there, he was an older man. He was very friendly at first. He said, welcome, where are you from? This is the world's smallest bookshop, which I kind of didn't believe, by the way, because I've seen very small bookshops. He said, this is the world's smallest bookshop. I was like, yeah, cool, cool. And he said, so I have these books. I said, do you have any English books? He said, only this one, and it's so special because of this, this, and this. And he had these hand illustrated postcards all across the wall. He said you can buy these as well. And I just did what many shoppers do. I said, no worries, thank you very much anyway. And I started to walk away. And as I started to walk away, he did this. He said, you're not interested, I understand. And I responded by saying, he said, you don't like it, I understand. That's what he said. He didn't say you're not interested. He said, you don't like it, I understand. And I said, no, I do like it, but, and before I could even finish what I was saying, he brushed me off again. He's like, yeah. And I thought, that was rude. We kept walking off. It wasn't worth any discussion, any effort at that point. I just laughed, and I said to, not a nervous laugh, by the way, I just laughed at his reaction. And I said to my wife as we walked off under my breath, as a joke, just to lighten the mood because I saw her face, I said, that's probably why he has the world's smallest bookshop. Anyway, that joke is not it's not essential to the story, and I'll tell you why. As I was walking, we started looking for a restaurant to eat. Maybe once or twice he went through my head, and I thought to myself, maybe I should have said something to him. In fact, maybe I should go back and tell him that just because somebody steps in his store, they're not obligated to buy something. And if because they don't buy something doesn't mean they don't appreciate the store. You can't be that bitter with every individual that steps into your store that doesn't buy something. But I caught myself. I caught myself thinking about the previous interaction. Has this ever happened to you guys? You catch yourself thinking about what you should have said, what you should have done, what was unfair, what the other person did, yada, yada. Do you catch yourself doing that? Let me know in the comments if you relate to that. Here's what I did. I took this philosophy that I just shared with you. You know what? Let him have his own experience. This is what it looks like. He's going to be grumpy. He's going to be triggered. Let him. Let him be triggered. Let him be grumpy. Let him have the world's smallest bookshop. This gives you freedom. The moment I took on this mindset, in the moment, as we were walking through Old Town, I accepted him for who he was, the situation for what it was, and I no longer thought about it. Maybe it took a couple of reminders, one or two little reminders. Yep, let him have the experience. And therefore, we had a great time afterwards. In the past, I would have spent hours, maybe even days, thinking about what I could have said, what I should have done. But now, whenever these things happen, even if it's in a very personal sense, for example, a friend says something. I recently had a friend who surprisingly commented something pretty, well, a friend that surprisingly commented something pretty hateful on my Instagram. And I reached out to him and he said, Shaki, you're really arrogant, this and that. And I was like, whoa, this isn't how you talk to a friend. So we had a bit of a back and forth, but I left him. Let him have his experience. In the past, I would have been dwelling on this so much. The people who you're meant to have authentic relationships with in life, they'll stick around. They'll stick around. They'll talk it out. But some people are just far too different. That's the situation. So take on this let them have their experience theory. I've heard of this let them theory. I think it's something similar. It's gaining a bit of traction in relationship advice, personal development. I don't know if it's exactly the same thing, to be honest, but that's the idea. Remember, allow people to fully have their own experience. They're human beings as well. They have negative emotions. Nobody's perfect, right? So let them. And that way you actually remove judgment as well. That guy was probably having a bad day. The bookstore owner. Maybe he had a rude customer before me. Maybe somebody cheated him. Who knows? Let him have his experience. It's not personal. The moment we take things very personally and we think we're being disrespected, it just creates a very reactive energy within you, in your communication, in your emotions, and so forth. So I wanted to share that little story with you guys. I hope you've been enjoying this view as I've been talking. It's incredible. I know the lighting's not great, but look, if you want one-to-one support for your communication skills so you can level up, so you can be solid emotionally and with your mindset, like that little bee, there's a link in the description. You can book a free 10-minute communication audit with us and we'll help you out. So take that video, take that knowledge, apply it, and I will see you guys next week.